Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Emily Soule, and welcome to this week's Top 5 Podcasting News Stories. Let's get into it. Okay, YouTube might be about to shake up the ad game. Big time. According to Semaphore, they could be rolling out dynamic ad insertion, meaning host-read ads could be swapped in and out of YouTube videos, just like audio podcasts. So no more outdated promos haunting your old uploads. I mean, finally, as that will actually keep up with you. YouTube hasn't confirmed anything yet, but if it does happen, it will be huge for creators and advertisers alike. Is YouTube quietly trying to dominate the podcast ad world? I mean, maybe, but I think this will be a great way for you to start optimizing your advertising dollars. So it's time to rethink those bids. Well, stay tuned on this one. Well, turns out Apple Podcasts is still the top dog for podcast downloads in the US, even with YouTube in the mix. According to fresh data from Podtrac, Apple remains the go-to app for the 250 biggest shows out there. This week at Podcast Movement Evolutions in Chicago, the numbers were revealed, and let's just say, Apple isn't ready to hand over the crown just yet. So while YouTube might be great for watching podcasts, when it comes to pure downloads, Apple is still pretty much number one. Moral of the story, don't count out the OG podcast player just yet. I mean, so now who is betting on Spotify to crash this party? I'm not. Podcast Movement Evolutions is officially in full swing, and it's already serving up some big ideas. Kicking things off, Tom Webster took the keynote stage to drop some wisdom on the podcast world, mainly how to turn those casual listeners into full-blown podcast addicts. Because let's be real, one episode a month just isn't cutting it. Oh, and the event had over 1,600 attendees. That's a lot of podcasters in one place. I mean, imagine the number of microphones and awkward networking encounters happening right now. Well, that was fast. After getting some serious side-eye from the UK podcast industry, the BBC has officially hit pause on its plan to put ads around license fee-funded podcasts on third-party platforms in the UK. Basically, no commercials interrupting your favorite BBC pods for now. But before you celebrate a completely ad-free experience, there is a twist. The BBC will still have ads in some UK podcasts, just not the ones funded by the license fee. So while you won't hear an ad for mattresses in the middle of your favorite BBC news show, other BBC-produced podcasts might still sneak in a few. Looks like the final word on this is about to come up next week during BBC's annual plan. But until then, the UK podcast scene can breathe a little easier, at least for now. Now for my favorite topic, the podcast of the week. This week's podcast is Good Hang with Amy Poehler. I actually found this gem thanks to mowPod Charts, the new forever free tool that lets you track Apple Podcast rankings with zero hassle. So if you're looking for the next big thing in podcasting or just wanting to keep tabs on your faves, mowPod Charts has you covered. Now let's get back to talking about Amy. Every week, she's bringing in celebrities and interesting folks into the studio for some laid-back, hilarious conversations. No self-improvement, no life hacks, just pure unfiltered fun. If you're in the mood for stories, laughs, and a little chaos, this one is a must listen. All right, enough of me talking about it. Here's a clip of Good Hang with Amy Poehler.
Like, one of the reasons why I want to do this podcast is because I've watched so many men do the bare minimum.
Is this your bare minimum?
And this, I'm truly giving 25%. Which is, for most people, is 75%. But it's like, enough is enough. Enough
Right.
with the 100%.
Sure.
And enough with improving ourselves
Sure.
and listening to stuff about how we're supposed to get better and better and better.
And that's a wrap on this week's Top Stories. Once again, I'm your host, Emily Soule, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're sipping on your morning coffee, commuting to work, or just winding down for the day, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.